What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F1 22. Last time out we did the Hungarian Grand Prix. It was a rather unfortunate incident where we were running in the fringes of the points and we had a mechanical failure very early on in the race. So we'll never know what could have been for that. But now we have the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm not anticipating it's going to go particularly well on account of the fact that there's the big long straight running down to Eau Rouge. And then as you go through Radion, there's the Camel Straight immediately afterwards. So it's just a lot of straight line speed required, and unless the AI are bad through Eau Rouge and Radion, it's very likely that I'm going to get out-dragged at multiple different occasions. But we'll see what happens. I'm just changing some engine components. We're taking our fourth MGU-H now because we had a failure on the brand new one that we took for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So there's now we're going to be taking penalties every time we change components for the rest of the season, pretty much. I think maybe there's a couple exceptions to that, but I'm not sure.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
That's not Chris. He doesn't talk like that. What? That was some northerner. Okay, anyway, that proper threw me off. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to be taking a 10-place grid penalty in this race, which means if we qualify lower than what P12, then we're going to be starting at the back of the grid unless there's other penalties going on. Right now, I'm looking to see if there's any facility upgrades I can do. I don't think I do in the end. I think I kind of have a look through at the potential to do one in the personnel department, but I think I'm going to wait because I'm going to do a fitness center or a simulator upgrade because I want to improve either pace or racecraft awareness and focus. Honestly, racecraft awareness and focus seems way better, so I'd probably go with that one. But that'll probably be next video. Why has Chris suddenly changed accents? He was definitely French in the previous videos. I'm almost certain of this.
We've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
What is going on? So yeah, we did an event there which helped us improve Schwartzman's focus, and now we're going to get into the Pirelli hot lap of the weekend. I chose Rival Duel for two reasons. One, because I haven't done one since Baku, and two, because average speed zones are probably the hardest of the choices that we get, so I've chosen not to go for that, but I might go for one in the future. We'll see. And I got gold. There's no point watching these because you know what they're like at this point. I'm pretty sure I've showed all of them at this point. And yeah, so we passed the rival duel, $100,000, 1,000 acclaim. Still not enough to get any facility upgrades or anything like that. So we're gonna dive straight into the race weekend proper. Belgium is a circuit that historically has been a favourite of mine, and I've usually done particularly well at. I think I actually got my first win here in one career mode that I did. Maybe it wasn't last year, but maybe the year before. So yeah, I typically go pretty well around here, but I'm not in this game. I'm not anticipating any miracles. I think even to get off the back row of the grid would be quite nice, and if we somehow sneak our way into the points, I'm sure we'll have a mechanical failure anyway, because that's apparently how the game works nowadays. So we're gonna head out to the track, and I probably won't show you any laps from this practice session just because I don't really see the point. It's actually raining, so I don't think it's raining in the race, so this is not going to be a particularly reflective practice session of what the race is actually going to be like for me, but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully the sessions will go alright. So tyre wear is slightly lower than expected, but not to the level that it was in Hungary. Lap time's a bit all over the place, but generally pretty decent.
Of our top three, who are Leclerc, Sainz, and Max Verstappen. And if today's practice is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
I think it was P21 and 22 for myself and Schwartzman, but I didn't check. But yeah, that's I'm pretty sure what happened there. And then we We got the development boosts coming for our car and whatnot now. I think there's a thing here where it actually gives you resource points and cash that you would earn weekly during the race weekend or something like that, because I was sure I was on 150 before the race weekend, and then I was up to like 400 like by the time that we've got all these boosts coming in. But these are going to be really pivotal, because now we're into a part in the season where like getting upgrades is crucial. I'm genuinely considering saving up for that ultimate I think it's a downforce upgrade or drag reduction upgrade, because I think that's going to be incredibly useful for improving our straight line speed. But it's 1500 resource points and we still haven't got any boosts for it yet, and if it fails, that's 750 more resource points we'd have to spend on it, for a total of 2250, which is like, you know, that's like 3 race weekends worth of resource points in the bin if we fail that. And as we're in the middle of a triple header as well, I don't see much point in doing it at the moment, at least until we get some boosts on the car. But I think we're going to have a look and see if there is anything that we can do at this moment in time. There's probably going to be some reliability upgrade or something, because there seems to be so many reliability upgrades we can do, despite the fact that that's the only facility we've got left now, apart from marketing, that's still Spec 0. But we're slowly working on making all the facilities get up to, you know, Spec 2 and hopefully eventually Spec 3. That was one of the biggest things I found in last year's game, playing on the settings I'm playing on, is going from Spec 2 to Spec 3 facilities took so long. But I've learned my lesson this time, and I think the key is to not hire expensive drivers until you've like maxed out all your facilities, because obviously once you've maxed out your facilities, you can develop anything, and you're also getting a lot of resource points. But until or at least until those facilities are Spec 3, and then you don't really have to worry about it too much. But that was sort of one of the biggest things I found, because in season 3 I think it was, I hired George Russell as my second driver, and I genuinely had to spend all season saving money so I could rehire him again. So yeah, we're now starting qualifying, and this is the end of my first flying lap of Q1, and we'll come up to the line and see what time we do. It's a 1:45.5, and it's ahead of Albon, Latifi and Stroll, but obviously I'm anticipating that everyone's going to improve again. We're 3/10 off K-Mag, so we'll see. As you can see at the end of our second flying lap, that put us in P16 overall, so we are through at the moment, but we'll see if we can get a bit of improvement. Come to the line, 2/10 improvement, and it's good enough for 14th. So yeah, we make it through Q1, pretty good. I was not sure whether we would get out of Q1 based on how sort of straight line speed this track is dependent on. But we're very fast through Sector 2. That's what I've found over the course of the weekend. Sector 2 is kind of our big strength. And Sector 3, honestly, is not like the start of... Wait, where does Sector 3 start? I actually, maybe I'm wrong. If it's just the long bit with like the kink in it, it's probably not going to be particularly strong for us. So the bus stop chicane at the end, I think we're slightly faster than the AI3, but that's about it. So here we are on our first flying lap of Q2, and we'll see what kind of time we can pull. I don't think this is going to be as good as our final lap of Q3, or Q1 rather. And it's only a 1:45.9 actually, so yeah, nowhere near as fast as the 2 laps that we did. I think we got a 1:45.5 and a 1:45.2. And now here we are starting the second flying lap. I'll show you it proper. Bottas minding up my way because I believe he just finished his last flying lap. And Alonso the same. You can tell whether they're on a flying lap or not when you come up to the line, because as soon as they go over the line, their DRS will slam shut to indicate that they're not on a flying lap anymore, and so they should get out of my way. You see Alonso's trying here to mind out, and well, he does so, but I need to hope that we get to the chicane before he does. I actually have to kind of slam the door there a little bit more than I would have liked to, because sometimes the AI likes to sort of dive bomb you even in qualifying. They've really made the AI overly aggressive in this game, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, I don't want to be too critical or too negative or whatever, but I genuinely do feel like, you know, some races sometimes like contact and having to like get out of a move because the AI is just sending one on you is like inevitable. Otherwise, you're going to get involved in a massive crash. But this is a very good lap so far. We're 5/10 up on our previous lap, like I said.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or else a qualifying. Come on.
Like I said, we didn't set a particularly representative time for our first lap. So if we can improve by this sort of 6 or 7 tenths that we're pulling at the moment, that's going to be fantastic. And yeah, as we come down this long straight past this kink, this is one of probably the slower parts of the track for us because our straight line speed is not fantastic. But as we come into the bus stop chicane, get the car stopped a bit later, and yeah, we're improving by sort of about 7 tenths as we come to the line, and it is another 1:45.2, and it's good enough to get us P12. So we're not through to Q3, but I'm not overly displeased with that. I think maybe there was 1 or 2 extra tenths in the car, but not a massive amount of pace. So Q3 would have been, well, we would have needed a 1:44. I don't know if that was in the car. Like I said, I think there was only 1 or 2 tenths. Maybe if we'd really put the hammer down, we might have just been able to sneak through in 10th. But oh well. So with the 10 place grid penalty applied that we've got from changing the MGUH, getting the 4th MGUH, I think it's going to be P22. But it's always possible that the other cars might have penalties as well. Vettel's pretty much guaranteed to win this rivalry now, unless he has a bunch of DNFs. And in fact, with only 1 race remaining, I don't think there is any way I can bring that one back. So that's going to be another chunk down on the difficulty, down to 88 most likely, but we won't change that until it's confirmed. Also, I think Zandvoort is the next race anyway, so I never usually go well around there. I really struggle around that track. It's just not one that I kind of get particularly well. There's a lot of corners that I can't take quite as well as others.
So unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for how bad it is, that will depend on what the other drivers get.
Nope, it won't be further back than I expect, because I expect to start further back because I knew that I've got the grid penalties. But you do you.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team back in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special just around one of the many corners of this fan favourite circuit. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Russell, Norris, Magnussen, Bottas and Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Vettel, Tsunoda, Albon, Daniel Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty, and Guan Yu Zhou, Robinson, Latifi, Stroll, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Robert Schwartzman. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Can we begin by having a chat about Charles Leclerc? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So we're starting P19 after a few grid penalties behind us are applied, and there's a few in front of us that I think have been applied as well, like Joe and Ricciardo I think got penalties, as well as Latifi, Stroll and Schwartzman behind. I guess Schwartzman going into Lundgaard's car probably means that he he has the same components that Lundgaard had, which might explain why he's taking penalties so early into his time with us. Just memeing on Joe Guan Yu a little bit there as we start the formation lap, and then we come to the end of the formation lap, and we'll see how our parking translates. And it is going to be optimal, 0.2, pretty good. Alright, here we are. So, 5 red lights. The lights come on, and the lights go out. Held for a little while there, but we get a good start, and we're instantly up the inside of Ricardo and Joe, and challenging Sonoda here. We are going to push up the inside. Big dive bomb into the first corner, and we're already up into P11 and challenging Valtteri Bottas there. But yeah, with the supreme traction of the AI, he does manage to just about get away. And I kind of have to back out of the move here because Schumacher's pressuring me all the way through Radion. That was very scary, but yeah, I mean, a great move from him. Full balls, you know, I would not be that brave ever. And then Gasly's coming up our inside as we get down to the end of the Camel Straight and go through the chicane. Just about keep him at bay for now around the outside. I think we're going to have the outside of this corner as well. No, actually, he doesn't challenge us. And we'll see what happens here as we come down into this hairpin. And he's coming up my inside. Again, we just about managed to keep him behind, but he is pressuring us. He is hounding us right now. So, yeah, we're going to have a hard time keeping him behind. So, yeah, here we come through Puon, and he just about manages to get ahead of us, I think. And now Ocon is pressuring us as well. So, it's going to be a real task to keep him behind in that very fast Alpine. But we'll see what we can do. We do seem to have a bit of pace around this track, though. You know, we're in what, P13 at the moment, so that's very good. And now we're gonna have Ocon come up our, I guess, our inside. I wasn't really sure what to call that because the corner's constantly switching directions around here. And that's us down into P14, but perhaps we can get him back at the bus stop chicane. Here we go, big dive bomb, and yeah, we get him pretty easily. He does come back at us a little bit, but around the outside, I think we're going to be able to make this stick. Yeah, right, we retain P13 then, and now it's time to just keep our head down, and he's going to back out of that one. I think, yeah, that sounds like he actually made contact with Gasly there. I'm not 100% sure, but him dive bombing didn't seem to work. But yeah, if we can keep our head down, consolidate the position we're currently in, try not to lose the DRS range to Pierre Gasly, and then perhaps we can have a good race. You know, if I can finish sort of around this, I would be quite happy. Maybe with a few retirements, we might be able to even sneak into the points. Who knows? As we actually have a bit more speed on Gasly. Go for a very late opportunistic move, and he leaves the door open for us. That was a real send, eh? Now we're up into P12, but Schumacher has already broken DRS range to us, so it's going to be tough to stay within a second of him once the DRS gets enabled. Lap 5, you see, we're sort of a similar distance behind him, but we have broken a little bit away from Gasly, so we're kind of in a position of our own right now as we come to the end of lap 5. Schumacher is, you know, I think he pulled away for a little bit, and then we kind of started reeling him in again. So I was thinking I might be able to get back within his DRS range within the next couple of laps or so. Maybe once we get onto the hard tyres, which I believe is on lap 10, we might be able to do something to challenge him. But it really remains to be seen. And yeah, we're just biding our time. Maybe he'll make a mistake. If he falls out of Bottas's DRS range, I'm pretty confident I can get him though. You know, we're burning a bit of our battery, but we've actually been doing pretty well to retain quite a lot of it as we look on board with Mick Schumacher, and there's a yellow flag, and he's pulling over to the side, so maybe he's got some kind of issue, I don't know. Oh, it's an engine. It's his engine, yeah. Ferrari engine in the back of that Haas just goes kaput, and that is going to suck for Mick Schumacher, but it promotes us up the order to P11. No safety car called, so we are staying out, and now Bottas is still 2 seconds up the road from us, so that final points paying position kind of eludes us a little bit, but there is a bit of a train there building up behind Kevin Magnussen, so if we could catch up with that and perhaps start making our way through it, we could even get P8 in this race, which would be very nice because it would put us only 2 points away from Williams, provided that they don't score any points in this race, which is not looking likely because I believe Albon is currently about 16th and Latifi's like towards the back, maybe 20th or 19th or something like that. So yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty confidently I can say that Williams won't score any points in this race. We have a real shot here. I was pretty confident this one was going to be an ERS glitch. You know, we've had, what, 2 DNFs in the last 3 races before this, so I was pretty confident that we're not going to have another mechanical failure. But, you know, we are running close to the points, so anything's possible. And then here we come to the start of lap 7, and we round the first corner. But I was wrong. I would like confirmation on whether this is a thing that's like, I don't know, the game notices when you're running in like P20 or 21 and it's just like, there's no point giving the mechanical failure. And then like as soon as you're actually doing well, it's like, oh well, now they lose something, now they feel something by retiring. You know what I mean? Because it just, this is the 4th race this season where we've been competitive, and the other 3 were Jeddah, Britain, and Hungary, which are all ones where we retired. It's really starting to get to the point where I'm feeling like it's not a coincidence, and I hate to be conspiratorial about it, but it really just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right.
A resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions, and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So, Leclerc P1, Verstappen P2, Sainz P3. Pretty good result for Ferrari, all things considered, and Leclerc continues to extend his championship lead up front. We need to be invested in this battle because nothing's happening in our world, but who knows?
How the driver's standings have changed. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Daniel Ricciardo would be my driver of the day. He just outright refused to make any mistakes. Perfect driving.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One, so be sure to join us for the next one.
I certainly feel the exhausted part, that's for sure and certain. I'm exhausted of constantly feeling like I'm about to get a good result and then not. I don't know, that was lap 7 of 22 and I wasn't even in DRS range of Gasly. I genuinely think I could have held that P11 at worst. But, you know, I barely even remember how you do pit stops in this game because I keep retiring before them. But whatever. Anyway, that's gonna be that for this video. If you have any information about this, please get in touch. Otherwise, please just like and subscribe and check out the links in the description and whatnot. I'm gonna persevere. Hopefully, we can get some points eventually, and hopefully, I will see you in the next one.